अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 34, verse number 12. In the previous class we read how the Rajvasis, they went for Shiv Puja on Shivratri, and at night this big python came and he was hungry, so he caught Nand Maharaj's leg, was trying to swallow him. Then Sri Krishna came on call of Nanda Maharaj and touched the snake with his foot. So the snake turned into Vidyadhara. So then Sri Krishna asked him, Ko bhavan paraya lakshma rochte adbhut darshana katham jugupsitam etam gatim va prapito vasya. That who are you and what made you get into this form of snake? So now snake is speaking. So Sarpa uvacha aham vidyadhara kaschit sudarshana iti shrutah sriya sarupa sampatya vimanena charan dishah rishin virupan angirashah prahasam rupam darpitah tailima prapito yonim pralabdhai svena papmana. So the snake said that I am a Vidyadhara whose name is Sudarshana, and I was very beautiful. Of course, he must be beautiful now also. And I was very wealthy, Sriya Swarupa Sampatya, and wandered here and there in the plain. And I saw Angiras Rishis, or the sages who were the descendants of sage Angirasa, and they were not very beautiful. And because I am beautiful and I am rich, so I made fun of them. So because of that, they cursed me, because they got ridiculed by me. And so by my own sinful act or my offense, I got the snake body by the curse. So this happens in material life. People become proud, especially of wealth and beauty. So Rupa Yavan Sampanna. So he had both. He was beautiful and he was rich. So even each one of them is a cause of very proud. Ekam api anurthaikum yatra chatushtaim. Youth, beauty, wealth, power, these four things make people very proud. Each one of them. And what if all four are in one place? So he was also youthful. So naturally, being material person, he was proud. Because these are considered as desirable things in this material world. Everybody wants to look beautiful. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be powerful, and nobody wants to get old. So if somebody has, then feels great. So, and then when you are proud, you make offenses by ridiculing others, by disrespecting others. So that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that we should be humble. Trinadapi sunichaina taroriva sahishnuna. So devotee is naturally humble, because devotee has proper understanding and is not interested in any of these material things. So even if he has them, he is not proud of these things, because these are all temporary things. Like they say that to be proud of borrowed plums. So all of them, whether it is wealth, it is called chanchala, one of the name of wealth is, it is moving. In English also I call it currency. It moves. So you can have and you can lose it, you can get it again. Youth, you lose it once, then it is gone, never comes back. So power is also temporary. So therefore one should not be proud of these things, and if one has, one can use them. Sriya Arthair Vachai. That Krishna said that by your wealth, by your power, strength, you should do good to others. Otherwise one becomes a snake. So then snake is, everybody is scared of them. Nobody wants to go near snake. And no hands, no leg, crawling on the chest. That's why the word Uraga was used. So He only did one good thing, although he had no hands, still he got onto Nanda Maharaj's feet. Generally you need hands to catch somebody's feet. He has no hand, no leg, and he caught so strongly that he will not leap. So that was his good quality. So there is not much commentary on this sloka. It says, Shrutaha Vikhyatatvat Sarvalokaireva. So in this sloka, Shruta means famous. So he was famous, everybody knew him. And his name was also Sudarshan. Sudarshan means beautiful, or he is good to look at. So beautiful people also become famous. And Disoacharam itastata krideya brahmanasam. And since he had wealth, so he was wandering here and there. He had a private jet. These days rich people have private jets. So he had his own plane. And therefore he wandered, loafing around. When you have money, then you waste your life like that. Sometimes money is also a curse, because then you get spoiled. So he said, I wandered here and there, just playing around very aimlessly. And then he saw these sages, so he ridiculed them. Pralabdhair upahasitair madhyeneva papena nimittena. And because I ridiculed them, so then as an outcome of that, I became a snake. So snake cannot even speak, cannot make any sound. Even dogs can bark, cat can also. But what snake can? So now he cannot ridicule anybody. He has small little eyes, like a speck, cannot look very far. But he says that Shapo me anugraha eva kritaistai karunatma bhihi yadam aham loka guruna padasprishto hatashubha. But he says that although they cursed me, but actually their curse also became blessing for me, because they were very gracious. So they are sages, they don't think to harm anybody. So their seemingly curse also turned into a blessing. And how is that? It says, because of their curse, now I got the grace of Loka Guru, the Guru of the whole world, Sri Krishna, Jagat Guru, that I got the touch of your feet. Because even great yogis cannot get such an opportunity to get touched by the feet of Sri Krishna. Even Brahma did not get this opportunity, although he came and he saw him and he praised, recited stuti, but he did not get the opportunity to touch Krishna's feet. So therefore he says that this is their anugraha on me. So everything had two sides to it. Things which look bad also have some good in that. If your outlook is good, then we can also see some goodness in that. And things which may be blessing can also be troublesome if our outlook is not good. So depending on what is our mindset, then every situation can be beneficial for our advancement in our bhakti. But if our mindset is not good, then you may be in Vrindavan and still you are only complaining and caught up in the same material activities. So this also happens, that people get the opportunity to be in Vrindavan in the association of devotees, and then they remain engaged only in things which they could have done outside also. So what special benefit they get here? In fact, they can commit more offenses by being here. So main thing is we have to keep our mindset, our goal. When our goal is not proper, then no matter where you go, you will create the same situation around you, because It is our mind which deals with the situation. So if our mind is mired in Maya, then we will get Maya around us, even if you're in the temple room. Even if we are in front of the deity in the temple room, our mind can be still enmeshed in Maya. So, therefore Krishna says, Manmana bhav mad bhakta, Mamanusmara yadhacha. So, Atmaibhi Atmano Bandhu, Atmairi Puratmana. So, Atma is Bandhu, mind is our friend, if it is fixed at feet of Sri Krishna. Otherwise, it creates problems. So, people are busy doing that also, creating more and more trouble for themselves. So, that's why he says, use the word Svena Papamana. So he got the sense after this. Now he is not blaming anybody. He says, I got into this trouble because of my own self. Otherwise, anything happens to us, we are all the time thinking how somebody has caused it. And I am flawless. Because how can I be wrong? I was never wrong. So he is accepting his mistake, and that's why he is able to see the curse also as a blessing. So this is a devotee outlook. So that's why he says Hata Ashubha, that by the touch of your foot all my inauspiciousness has been dispelled. So inauspiciousness is improper thinking. There is no other inauspiciousness. Although outside also we say this is auspicious, this is inauspicious, this is good time, this is bad time, all that, right? Muhurta, Jyotish deals with that. But the main thing is inside the mind. Therefore Kabir Das says Lagan Mahurat Jhoot Sab. So he says all this Lagan, Mahurat, says ये सब बकवास. Because if your mind is fixed, then it's everyday festival. And if mind is not clean, if mind is dirty, then all bad muhurtas everywhere. So therefore say Yadaham Loka Guruna Padas Prishto Hatashura. Says this is blessing. What can be bigger blessing than getting grace from Krishna's foot directly? So Yataha Shapat. So he says this is because of this Shapa. So there are two types of justice. One is material justice, other is spiritual justice. So if we are caught up in material justice, then we are going to lose spiritually. And that's where mind gets completely deviated, because we are fighting for justice here. But we don't know that the time and opportunities are limited. So better think of spirituality. So all this sukha dukkha, they will come and go. Karmana jayate jantu karmana eva praliyate. Sukham dukkham bhayam kshemam karmana eva vipadyate. So all this happiness, distress, troubles, good situations, they all come by karma, they will come and go. So therefore tasya heto praetet kovido na labhyate brahmitam upariyadha. Those who are kovida, those who are intelligent, those who are smart people, so they should make effort only for that which is not available here in the material world. Because whatever is available in the material world is all temporary. So yo dhruvam parityajya here dhruvam nishevate. If you give up the permanent and work for impermanent, then dhruvam tenita dhruvam, the permanent you have dropped, and impermanent will be lost even if you get it. So we are eternal being. We should not waste our time chasing after. We are spiritual being, eternal being. We should not waste our time chasing about temporary, ephemeral, material things. Because that's the biggest stupidity. That an eternal spiritual person is running after temporary, inert, unconscious objects. What is the logic in that? What is the intelligence? So therefore Buddhiman is that who knows this, who can have this viveka. That is real smart person. Otherwise all other smartness doesn't have much meaning. Tam tvaham bhavabhitanam prapannanam bhayapaham aprichhe shapa nirmukta padasparshadamivahan. So now he did not want to take much time of Krishna. He didn't want to hang around there. Also he does not fit in that community. So he says, therefore I want to take your permission to leave, since now I have become free from the curse, the snake body, by your grace, by the touch of your feet. So you are the shelter of those who have surrendered to you. Bhavabhitanam prapannanam bhayapaham. You dispel the fear of the surrendered devotees who may be having fear from material birth. So tam tvam aham. I want to take aprichhe, your permission to leave. And you are amoeba-han. You are the destroyer of the distress. So you heard of the word amoeba? What is amoeba? So Krishna is the killer of the amoeba. He is called amoeba-han. It's his name. It says amoeba-han. It's a Sanskrit word. Amoeba-han. Like Kamsa-han. Killer of Kamsa is called Kamsa-han. Killer of amoeba is called amoeba-han. So amoeba comes from rog, dhatu, disease. Amoeba also causes disease, right? So he is the killer of the disease. It's actually made from disease. Ameyascha bhutanam jayate yena subrata. Ama, you know, ama is the cause of diseases. So it comes from that dhatu amoeba. Iram, Aram becomes Iram. So, aprichhe swalokam gantam anugyam yache. So he says, I want to take permission from you so that I can return to my place. Because he has a family, children, friends. He was servant of Kubera. Belongs to Kuberas. So this also shows how offenses can be problematic, because he offended great sages. So amoeba-han, he gives the meaning, hey dukha hanta. Amoeba means suffering or disease. Disease is also suffering. Disease is not pleasurable. So Krishna is the killer of the disease or suffering. Prapannosmi mahayogin mahapurusha satpate Anujanihi Mam Deva Sarvalokeshwareshwaraha. So he is having all these addresses to Krishna, that O Mahayogin, O great yogi, Mahapurusha, great person, Satpati, master of the devotees, Deva, Lord, Sarvalokeshwareshwara, the Ishvara of all the controllers of all the lokas, I am surrendered to you. So he is accepting himself as surrendered to Krishna's feet, and he says Anujanihi. He says, please, Anujanihi means same, give me permission, Anugyam Dehi, so that I can return back to my own place. He Mahayogin, Kvaham adhuna eva mahakhal sarpastvat pitram agrasam, Kvaham asmad adhuna eva labdha sadvivekas tvam stomi iti achintyam. So he is calling it as Mahayogin, means you have great yogic powers. He says, look at me, I was a wicked snake. The snakes are very jealous by nature, angry beings. Touch them immediately. They don't, like you go to some other animal, something they may try to move, shake their neck or something, but snake immediately injects the poison, the ultimate. It wants to kill you. So he says, therefore I was greatly wicked person, and I did a wicked act of swallowing your father's foot. And Kvaham akasmadadhanaiva, and then suddenly, such a lowly person, I had labdha sadvivekas tvam stomi, and now I have attained this intelligence that I am praising you or I am praying to you. How is this possible? Because obviously his mindset previously was that he was so proud, that he was making fun of the sages. So that very person has become so humble. So this is the difference between non-devotee and devotee. So he says, now I have loved the sadviveka, I have attained good viveka, the sense to know what is right, what is wrong, what is proper behavior. So therefore I am stomi. He says this is achintyam, tav yogashwaryam, that your majestic power, your opulence is inconceivable, that it has brought such a change in me. To change somebody is the most difficult thing, especially to educate a proud person. It's impossible. That's why Krishna says, tad vidhi pranipatena, pariprasnena sevaya, that if you want to learn, then this is what you have to do. You have to bow down and do seva. Proud person will not do these two things. You will not bow down, you will not do seva, and proud people may not also ask questions. So then people think, oh, he does not know, or they will ask question to challenge. That's not really asking question. So Krishna therefore advises these three things to acquire knowledge. And proud people don't do this, therefore they don't get knowledge. So he says, I was so proud, and now he says, I am prapanna. So same pranipata, the word he uses, he says, I am prapanna. So how is this change come about? It says by Krishna's grace, because he touched him with his foot. So this is magic touch. So therefore he is marveling at that. It is for this reason that he is using all these words for Krishna: Mahayogin, Mahapurush, Satpate, Deva, Sarvalokeshwareshwara. Mahapurushanam Sriman Nandadinam Sadhunam Pateti. So he says that you are Mahapurusha Satpate. He's taking this as one word, Mahapurusha and Satpate, that you are the Lord of great sadhus such as Nanda Maharaj, etc. Iti sarpadehan mam amochaya sviyan etanscha apalaya iti aparam tav kripa vaibhavam iti bhava. And you have delivered me from my snake body and also have protected your own people. So this is your great opulence of your grace. So Krishna did two things simultaneously. That he did not kill the snake, could have also killed him and protected Nanda Maharaj, but he did not kill him. Rather, he liberated him. So therefore it says Sarp Deham Mam Amochaya, that you liberated me from snake body and also protected Nanda Maharaj. So this says your amazing grace. So anucharam eva mam jani. So he gives an interesting meaning to anujanihi. Generally anujanihi used in the sense of taking permission. Anugyam dehi. Like that. But he's taking the word anu, separate, and janihi as separate. So then anu means a follower, and janihi means know. He says, know me to be your servant. So that's how he's commenting on this word. Brahmadandad vimuktoham sadhyaste chuta darshanat yanname grinnan nakhilan shrotrin atmanam evacha sadhyah punati kim bhuya tasya sprishta padahite. So he is glorifying Krishna's feet, especially the touch of his foot. So he says that just by seeing you, I have immediately become released from the curse of the Brahmanas. So Brahma Dandat Sadhya Vimuktoham. Immediately, there was no delay. As soon as he saw Krishna, he became free from that. And Yannama Grinnan Akhilan Shrotrin Atmanam Evacha Sadhya Punati. He says that just by chanting your name or hearing your name, it immediately purifies oneself. Then what can I say about the power of touch of your foot? So I have been touched by your foot. So if you are, because name is something which belongs, like you are a person, you have your personality, you have some powers, and then you have a name. So sometimes big people have their name and somebody say, I am related to that. By hearing the name, you respect that person, right? Or you do some favor to that person just because of the name. And in case of Krishna, his name is not different from him. So his name is very powerful. Materially also, powerful people, their name carries some weight. But still name is name. So he says, what to speak of you yourself, that your foot touched me. So I cannot even say how much power is there in it. So both who take the name, who hear the name, they get purified of all their sins akhilan. So darsnadeva vimukta kimuta padasprishtah. So he says that I got purified, I got released from my bondage, from the curse, simply by seeing you. And then what can be said of your touch? Because seeing is, you can see something which is far away, but to get touched, the person has to be in proximity to you. So if seeing you can purify, then what is the power that you get touched? So nama ekam api grinnan yakopi kimutaham darshan sparshavanapi. And anyone who chants name of Krishna, and here it is used in a singular case, yan nama, not namani. So just one name can purify, what to speak of many names, and then what to speak that I am seeing you and also I am touched by you. So he is not touched only externally, but he is touched in his heart. Right? So this is heart touching darshan. That's why he is speaking like that. So there is transformation in his heart, which is the real transformation. All other transformations don't have much meaning. The real change is the change of heart. And that's what Krishna did, change his heart. Of course, his whole body was also changed. In fact, Jiva Goswami was saying in his commentary, he says that he did not give up his body, but his body got transformed into that with the other body. That's why he's using the word like that. Brahmadandad vimuktoham sadhyaste achyuta darshanat. This is how he's speaking like that I got freed from this Brahmadanda. Sri Shuka Vacha Iti anugyapya dasharham parikramya abhivandya cha sudarshano divam yatah krichnanandascha mochitah krichnanandascha mochitah. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said that in this way, when he got permission from Sri Krishna, who is Dasharha, comes in this dynasty, he circumambulated him and Abhivandya, he bowed down to him. And then this Vidyadhara, by the name Sudarshan, went to Devaloka, his own place. And Nanda Maharaj was also released from his suffering. So there is no comment on this. Now a little reaction of all this by the Brajvasis, because they were all observing this. It happened right in front of them. Previously they only used to hear the stories when Krishna came home in the evening, because most of his activities happened in the forest when he was with the cowherd people. Or even if they happened, people did not see it. Like when he killed Putana, or he kicked the bullock in this cart and killed Shaktasura, there was nobody there. Maybe some small children. Or uprooted the trees, Yamalarjuna. But now everybody saw this. So this is a talk of the, what you call breaking news for them. Nishamya Krishnasya tadatma vaibhavam vrajokasho vismita chetasastataha samapya tasmin niyamam punarvrajam nipaya yustata kathayanta adritaha. So nisamya krishnasya tad atma vaibhavam. So seeing that vaibhava of Krishna, that greatness, the heart of residents of Vraja was astonished. Vismita chetasa. So their chitta expanded. Heart also sometimes expands, sometimes becomes constricted. When something is fearful, then even your body becomes small. When you are happy, it blooms like a flower. Your chest opens, right? It becomes straight. So it's all starts from the heart. First change happens in the heart, then it reflects in the body. So they were all astonished by seeing this. Although Krishna is with them, but they don't see him that he's God or anything like that. Although they know that he's somebody special, because everybody is attracted to him, everybody loves him. All Brajvasis, they are circling around him. But they're not thinking that he's Narayana, he's God or anything like that. So therefore they were astonished to see this. And samapya tasmin niyamam punarvrajam. So after completing their vrata there, for which they had gone, niyamam means that vow, niyam seva. And punarvrajam nripa ayayu. So they returned back to Vraja, O king. And tata kathayanta adritaha. So they came and then they were talking about this. This is the news. Everybody was, those who saw, they were reciting, telling others. Everybody was asking, how did it happen? How big was the snake? How did it look? And where did it go? Because they saw that suddenly it disappeared. And who is this guy standing there? Because everybody saw him and then he disappeared also. So all this talk was going on when they were returning. So Vismita Chetasha iti, just commenting on Vismita Chetasa, just astonished heart. Aho yoyam asmakam balya eva asman vina kshanmatramapi na nirvinoti saeva Krishna kim parameshvara eva chay ched tata pitradeo vayam api mahapurusha eva bhavama. So then they are saying that, well, this is quite wonderful, that this guy is small boy and he cannot stay without us. He is dependent on us from childhood, we have seen, because he is always hanging around Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda. So then if he is God, then we must be great.
Perfect logic.
This is the logic. So they are not astonished at him, they are astonished at themselves. And if this fellow is God, then we are Mahapurushas. we are not ordinary people. So they are congratulating each other. That this is amazing that we are so great, we did not know that. So that's what they are saying, that he says that Saiva Krishna kim Parameshvara eva. Is this Krishna Parameshvara? Is he God? He says if this is true, then etat pitradeyo vayam api. So then we who are his uncle and so on, all the elderly people, because in village, they all are related. Somebody's uncle, somebody's nephew, like that you say, right? Kaka, chacha, like that. So he says we are pitrade, we are like uncle, and in English you only have one word. In Hindi, Sanskrit we have many other words. So he says we are Mahapurusha. So they are very surprised that they are so great and they don't know this. So eva bhavama iti dhanyo So he says, therefore, this Garga Muni is really to be thanked. Why? Garga Muni Riyena Pratmataye Vasya Narayan Samya Muktam. Because he has predicted that this boy is like Narayana. So treat him well. And at that time we did not realize how great we are. That actually Garga Muni was talking about us, not him. So we forgot that. Tathaiva varnasya asya cha vidyadharasya mukhad ashrashamai iti bhave. So now this has become confirmed because they saw when the servants of Varuna has kidnapped Nanda Maharaj. At that time, Krishna went to release Nanda Maharaj to Varuna Loka. So Varuna came and praised Krishna, worshipped him, gave gifts. And now we saw this Vidyadhara, because this Vidyadhara also was looking some godly being. They don't know who is he, but he was, from another planet. So he looked to them also some god. So he said, now we saw that he was also praising to him and falling at his feet. So this is so great that this boy is dependent on us. So if he is so great, imagine how great we are. Because he cannot live without us. So this is end of this pastime of liberating Sudarshan Vidyadhara. And the other story here is the story of killing of Shankhachuda. So now this starts that one. Kadachidath Govindo Ramaschadbhut Vikramaha Vijrahaturvane Ratriam Madhyagau Rajayoshitam. So this is Shivratri, and after about 2 weeks then comes the festival of Holi. That is on Purnima, Falguni Purnima. So it is that night. So this is a custom all around North India, at least. All this Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, you know about that Garbha dance. Where boys and girls together they dance. So this is the holy time. So this parampara comes from Krishna's time. So Krishna was also dancing with gopis, playing with them, as they still do. So in the villages this is celebrated. Ladies, men, they sing and dance. Especially here, I'm sure everybody has seen Garba dance from Gujarat, famous. So he says, someday, some particular time, once Govinda is Krishna and Balaram, the executor of wonderful acts, at night they were playing in the forest along with the ladies of Raja. So Vijarhartur Vane Ratrayam Madhyagau Rajyoshitam. So dual case generally you don't see. Most of the time you see singular case and plural case. In Sanskrit we also have dual case. Now it will become useful here. Krishna and Balaram are making the dual case of Sanskrit useful. So now you will see everywhere dual case. So Vijarhartu is dual case. And Madhyagau, so going in the center or in the middle of night. So Kadachit Shivratri Vratanantram Ratriyam Chandrika Bahulayam. So commentator Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says Kadachit sometime or once upon a time. Here he says it refers to after Shivratri, on a night when there was enough moonlight. So it is understood to be maybe holy day or before that, because this singing goes for many nights. It's not just on one particular night. So Vrajayoshitam Madhyagau iti Holika क्रीडायाम तथैव व्यवहार इति वैष्णवतोषणम. So Vraj Yoshitam Madhyagau means in the midst of the ladies, both Krishna and Balaram were there, and this is Holika Kridayam. This play is called Holi also, playing Holi they call it like that. That is the name. So he says this is written in Vaishnav Toshni. Jiva Goswami also says that the word cha here is indicative that there were also other cowherd boys. Because it is not Rāsa-līlā like Krishna was alone and then the gopis were there. It is actually a different type. Men and women all come together and they sing, dance, throw color. This is that color festival. So therefore he says that Govindo Ramascha is indicative that their friends were also there. Upagīya mānau lalitam strijanair-baddha sauhridaihi svalankrita anuliptangau sragvino virajambarau. So all dual cases are here now. So Upagīya mānau, so they were being praised by women, strijanair-baddha sauhridaihi, who were very affectionate, loving to them. And they were decorated, svalankrita anuliptango, they were decorated with various ornaments and their bodies were smeared with unguents, sandalwood pulp, etc. And they were wearing garlands, sragvin, and virajamburau, and they had very clean dress. So although they live in Vraja, which is full of dust, right? One speciality of Vraja is dust. It has a name. Although dust is in many places, but this place dust is called Vraja Raja. It has special value. But it says that their clothes were without any dust. Means pakka, ironed, clean. Viraja. So spotless, speckless. Viraja Ambaro specifically mentioned that they were having spotless dresses, garland. So no commentary on this. Some of the slokas there is no commentary. Then Nisha Mukham Manayantau Uditau Udapatarakam Mallika Gandhamattali Jushtam Kumadavayuna Jagatu Sarva Bhutanam Manah Shravana Mangalam Tau Kalpayantau Yugpat Swaramandala Murchitam. So it was the beginning of night, Nishamukham, Manayantau. So they honored the night, both of them. They were praising how nice the night is, because it's cool. This is the spring season, and beautiful moon and stars were shining in the air. Atmosphere was clean, there were no clouds and no pollution. So very clean atmosphere, and the air was very fragrant. Kumud Vayuna is carrying the fragrance of the Kumud flower and Mallika flowers. Mallika Matta Ali Justam. There were such nice flowers that the bees are circling around. There was a swarm of bees swirling around the flowers. Mallika Gandha Mattali Justam Kumada Vayuna. So Nishamukham Nisharambham. Nishamukham means that it was just the beginning of the night. So that means they had just had their dinner, and then because there is not much to do at night, in the daytime they take the cows for grazing, bring them in the evening, milk, have dinner. Now it's free time. So you can just sing and dance. So Nisarambham Satkurvantam. So they were praising the night. Udita Udupa Starka Cha Yatra Tat. and the moon has arisen. That's why it was either full moon night or just before that, and there were stars in the sky. The air had the fragrance of the kunda flower, kundavayuna yuktam, and then they started singing. So both brothers were singing, and what they are singing is also they are composing it themselves. So in villages also people do that. They compose extempore. In fact, in some places in Braj area they have a competition between men and women. They will ask questions in poetry. They have to reply, and then it is singing and also dancing along with it. It's done like that. So here also it is described like that. Tau kalpayantav. Kalpayantav means rachayantav, that they were making. And swara mandala murchitam. So and then both of them were singing with proper notes and mandala murchita. Murchana means with notes going up and down. Like you do the ragas, how the notes. So that is called murchana, especially if you have a string instrument. It's called murchana on that. But here they are just singing with their voice. They also must have some musical instrument. Even now in the Vraj villages they sing and dance with various instruments. This big drum played with long sticks makes very loud noise. They come to that Suraj Kund Mela, you seen there? Every year they come there also, singing. So this is the traditional way of singing and celebrating, and this singing is really in high voice because there is no mic, etc. So people can hear long distance. So Jagatu means they sang. So Jagatu Jagantu. Jagatu Jagu. That's how it will go. Sarvabhutanam Manaha Shravana Mangalam. Their singing was very appealing, auspicious, likable to all living beings, to their mind and to their ears. It was very sweet to hear them singing. And not only human beings, it says Sarvabhutanam. Even birds, animals, everyone relished singing of Krishna and Balaram. Can imagine Krishna singing. This must be so wonderful. So Yugpadekenaiva Swaramandalanam. And then the singing is done when more than one person together and sing in chorus. That appears even more sweet and beautiful. Murchitam Murchanam Nibaddhatvat. So this is composed in a musical manner. Kalpaitum ashakyam api shakyamiva kalpayantav. So he says, although it is not even possible for common people to imagine it, but they were composing and singing like that. So it will continue to describe. We'll stop here if there is any question. Yeah.
In chapter 16 we learn how Serpent Kaliya also had received the same kripa as here in this chapter. I wanted to know if both of the serpents received the same type of bhakti, and if yes, was it Samanya bhakti?
It was what?
If both of the serpents received the same type of bhakti, and if yes, was it Samanya bhakti?
Yeah, it is Samanya only. Otherwise they will not live. It's just general. But the common thing is that of all the people, this snake, he did not kill him. Kaliya also he did not kill, and this one also he did not kill. When the Aghasura was killed, it is because he swallowed them. There was no other choice. The coward boy, and he himself was inside. Otherwise, generally the snakes get spared by him. Okay, anything else? All right.